And the Wizards ready to get to work on their... Now it's headed down to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, but he's also a danger.
Great vision, David. Thank you. Game will likely be won or lost in this one.
Great talent, no doubt. For some reason they cancel each other out, and you know where it's going to be decided, in the backcourt.
Wait a minute. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. They've got Drummond, Jaylen Brown out there at the ropes. Then there's Luka Doncic, and it's Capella in at the center, filling out the middle. And for the Wizards, we've got Russell. Rudy Gobert is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Paul George, and it's Iguodala in at the 3 spot. And so off the tip, it's Washington's ball. Here's George. Up top, Russell. He's covered by Brown, and it's Russell missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Now, here's Capella. The pass to Brown. 5 to shoot. And stolen by Russell. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. Shoots over Brown. Kept alive. Here's George. And they convert it last on attempt number 3.
Well, I think you've got to like and appreciate the effort there, the hustle. George staying with the possession, then uses his length to finish off the miss.
Now, here's Brown. On the wing, Doncic. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
Boy, Brown not just a super athlete, folks, but he's got excellent skills as well. A tremendous floor general.
Cousins finds George. Outside, Russell passes it to Iguodala. 6 on the shot clock. There's 3 quarters off the mark. And so Brown will bring it up for the Milwaukee Bucks. Pass to Doncic. Here's DeRozan. Goes back up. And the rejection by Cousins.
And at nearly 7 feet tall, Cousins is a legitimate shot-blocking threat, using that reach to deter shots.
Now, here is Russell. Turned in an outstanding game against New York. And then Cousins with the dunk.
That is ferocious.
You said it. That was ferocious.
Ammonia strong, we call that. Wear that rim out.
Here's Capella. Oh, the lob to DeRozan. A shot off that time.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
And you know, guys, always a tough catch on the lob. Placement and timing have to be close to perfect.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Russell with it. He's picked up by Doncic. Russell, no good.
Does not get much easier than that, but somehow he came up empty there.
From 15 feet away, the putback, and Drummond is right there.
This is what Drummond is known for, fellas. I mean, assertive, aggressive, relentless, hard-working. He's just a dogged offensive rebounder.
Now, here is George. He picked up 15 points in their last win against New York. Pass to Cousins. Now, here is Russell. Capella covering. A floater, and Capella sends it back.
Boy, the timing Capella has on the defensive end, outstanding. Terrific at knowing exactly when to go up for those blocks.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Yes, that goes in.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Brown against George. The pass to DeRozan. shot's good. Brown making the play.
Boy, DeRozan comfortable and confident from that area.
It's common to see wing players improve their perimeter shooting in the league, but DeMar DeRozan's most striking growth has been his ball handling and playmaking. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hands.
Passes to Capella. Over Russell. Banked in off the glass.
Sheer power there from Capella. Not an easy guy to contain when he's going up with the shot.
Greg DeRozan watching a ton of films of guys like Andre Miller and Sam Cassell operating in the pick and roll.
Not only that, Kevin, to strengthen his left hand, he'd use it for daily activities like writing, leaving no stone unturned to become an expert initiator.
On opening night, Clark, both teams would love to start off, obviously, on a winning note.
Without question, I mean, setting that winning tone, gaining that confidence that comes from winning, and they all count. Wins today are just as important as wins that you get in March and April.
And the first one drops.
This is where we see Cousins a lot. He's always up there among the league leaders in free throw attempts. It's so hard to handle in the post. The D just never knows what to do with him.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. They're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
So it's the Bucks now after the basket by Washington. On the wing, DeRozan over Russell, and it's DeRozan missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And I like the aggressiveness of Iguodala. I mean, remarkable at taking it all the way to the rack.
Cousins against DeRozan. Here's Capella, and that's good. A nice job at the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Outside, Russell. Back to George. The 3. Trains it from beyond the arc. George has got 7 points in the game.
Right there, I think you got to try and run. Lights out long distance shooter and has great confidence.
Now, here's Brown. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. He kicks it to DeRozan. Back to Brown. Fires for 3. Milwaukee getting another chance here. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
And, you know, Drummond has no problem playing through contact. He excels at using that strong body of his to fight through contact and finish.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Siakam is checked in for Gobert. Jason Tatum comes in for Andre Iguodala. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Russell. And then for Milwaukee, Robert Covington's checked in for Doncic. Barrett comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Paul's subbed in for Jaylen Brown. Now here's Cousins. No good on the shot. Good work defensively by Capella.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far. And I like the timing, Kevin, that Drummond has on these alley-oops. That's not as easy as he makes it look. He knows precisely when to leave the ground to receive the pass and finish it off.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. And the level of detail that Robert Covington approaches defense with is just phenomenal. He is always prepared for his matchup.
Yeah, and that's why he's an outstanding defender, Kevin, because he's got the physical attributes. He's got excellent speed and quickness for a guy of his size, good length and strength, outstanding hands. But he does a nice job of studying his opponent and what he needs to do to be effective defensively. I think he's one of the better defenders in the game and on the wing.
And Bogdanovich with the slam.
And when he he's on the floor, offensive rebounding is always going to be a strength for them.
Greg, he keeps so many possessions alive, doesn't he?
And, you know, those second chance opportunities can be game changers. He represents so much value to this team because of what he does. Boy, that's finishing the defense there. He made a good effort on that possession defensively and then closed it out with the rebound.
Here's Siakam. He can't get that one. Now the Bucks take it the other way. Ball surveying the floor. Down low. And Randall throws it down.
They know he's looking for him, so it's easy to see why Paul's teammates love him.
Bledsoe against Paul. Outside Tatum. Here's Bledsoe. Good work defensively by Capella.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim, that's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
Barrett, no good.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Milwaukee's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Randall passes to Barrett. Back to Randall. Count that bucket. Randall's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
Here's Bledsoe. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. We're seeing more and more young coaches in the NBA think this is a trend. Is it completely circumstantial? What's your view on it?
Well, I think you've got more younger coaches that are capable and able to coach. And the league is quite young, too. I think it's a current trend. But we've seen that before in decades past when it seems the wave of coaches are younger. I think it's more or less kind of the cycle of life that we see across a lot of different industries.
Now, Tatum, after R.J. Barrett's three-pointer that didn't go. Here's Marjanovic. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Good read from Tatum that time. Saw the defense had overcommitted and then made them pay with the sweet dime. Well done.
Now Paul. No points in the game yet for him. To the paint. Here's Cauley Stein. No good there. Good D by Siakam. Smart goes in. Tatum wide open, he fires one. Good, and Smart gets the assist. And it's a 3-point Wizards lead.
Boy, set him up nicely that time, guys. And Tatum, like most players, shoots better off a good pass.
Randall outside. The dish to Paul. Back to Randall. It's stolen by Marjanovic. Bledsoe looking it over. Pass to Siakam. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Washington.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
They've been sensational on the backboard.
There's a good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Smart. There's 14 seconds left in the first quarter. Clock at 4. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. Randall misses off the right eye.
I wouldn't say that's exactly his spot now. I mean, and you can see why.
And so it's Washington bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. A terrific tempo and a great pace. in 2018, DeMar DeRozan opened up about his...
For the people saying that.
Yep, you love the honesty and the bravery to step forward and tell his emotional story.
Yeah, he opened the dialogue. Kevin Love following his lead to talk about anxiety. Athletes as public figures can have a broader impact than just entertaining, and we see it over and over again.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And, you know, for them guys, it's all about tempo. Keep the pressure on and do so as much as possible.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for the Bucks. Randall out there with Willie Cauley-Stein. Then it's Robert Covington. Then it's Barrett. And it's Paul in at the point guard position. Tipped away. Marjanovic kicks to Bledsoe. The rejection by Paul.
CP3 using every inch of that smallish frame to get a hand on it and send the shot back. How about that? The little fella showing us he can block shots, too.
Tatum, that's for two. And that one hits back iron.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, DeMarcus Cousins suffered an Achilles injury, and it was a major setback for him, but it was also an eye-opener. Cousins said, any given day could be your last day playing, and all the celebrity, all the fame ends. My love for the game has grown, but at the same time, I want to be more than just a basketball player. Kevin, challenges can put anything into perspective.
Thank you, B.A.
You better come stronger than that. Cauley-Stein, a presence defensively.
And Randall throws it down.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling.
And can put the other team on its heels. We'll see how it plays out.
Bledsoe with it. He's picked up by Paul. Paul against Bledsoe. Pass to Sabonis. Over Barrett. And another miss by Washington. Bucks have gone a perfect 4 of 4 since the second quarter began. Perfect from the field. And here we go. Washington fast break. Tatum beat the charge.
And all right, a chance to check out stats for Covington. A very nice season for him last year. Averaged about 13 points a game. Just over 2 steals and 5 rebounds. Even though his numbers have been more than solid, I think he'll want to step his game up to another level.
Yeah, and you know, on paper, those numbers are terrific. Most players would be thrilled with those numbers, but as good as they are, I know this guy expects more of himself.
DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Washington. Paul George comes in for Eric Bledsoe. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Clark, a big jump in scoring, but I think a lot of that is because of the prolific role players we have in the NBA now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. When you think about starters putting up points and then you have guys that fortify benches and can get points in bunches, the first name that comes to mind for me, Lou Williams. A designated role of scoring the basketball in limited minutes. And when he gets it going, watch out. Nobody quite like Lou Williams putting it in the basket as a role player.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Cousins against Drummond. Pocket 6. And stolen by Drummond. One-on-one here. Here's DeRozan. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Wizards. Tatum against Brown. Tatum's shot is off. The Bucks have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Doncic passes to Brown. the pass to DeRozan. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got 3 assists tonight.
The heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. Now you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
And the Bucks making a change here. Capella's checked in. Passes it to Gobert. DeRozan against Russell. Just 5 on the clock. Gobert dishes. Wizards with another miss.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
And, you know, that's a veteran play. DeRozan stays open to all possibilities. That's seeing the game in front of you. Excellent find.
And it's sent back by Drummond. Brown feeling it out a bit. Paul George with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for the Wizards. Good on that shot. With that, the Bucks lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Russell.
Boy, we've talked about, you know, George is athletic. He's long, and he's got really long arms, which helps him as a defender, and that allows him to clog up passing lanes and come up with steals, too.
Here's Iguodala. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Iguodala's got the game tied up here for Washington. Brown the pass to DeRozan. Here's Doncic. Over Iguodala. But they recover it. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And, you know, one of the things you admire most about Clint Capella is that he plays to his strengths. He doesn't do stuff that he can't do. An athletic big man who, in that way, is similar to DeAndre Jordan.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
And, you know, you look at the way Clint Capella's offensive role has expanded the last few years. He's great in the pick and roll as an option at the top of the key, and he's actually seeing more and more touches as a finisher at the rim. The next step in his development, being a back-to-the-basket scorer.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's stolen by DeRozan. And finished off by DeRozan.
Tell you what, I don't know of anybody more aggressive at attacking the basket than DeRozan. A lot of his points come off the drive.
And with Capella, Clark, the numbers don't lie. He is a big factor on offense now.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, his hands have gotten better. That's not something you can always see in a big guy, is improvement in his hands, but he's gotten better in catching and finishing. I love the way he moves and is always ready for the pass. He catches some tough stuff in traffic, and he gives you all of this at the offensive end with high-level defense, too.
Brown kicks to DeRozan. Pass to Doncic. 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Gobert. And here is Cousins. There's the feed to George. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Cousins has got 3 assists now in this one.
Yeah, excellent determination there from George. This wasn't going to be denied. Fighting off the physical contact and nailing the shot over good defense.
Here's Doncic. Makes it off the glass. Doncic has got 6.
You have to love the unselfishness on display there. Excellent passing.
George with no one around. A 3-pointer is right on target. And the Wizards lead by 1. Big lead changes now, and we're still just in the first half.
I'm not sure I've seen a game with more lead changes this early.
Left side, DeRozan, and the shot goes down. DeRozan's got 6 here in this quarter. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Washington. They'll be off to Boston for a meeting with the Celtics after this one. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Russell passes to George. Connects from three-point range. He's got 15.
And, you know, once George gets on the roll, he's just absolutely relentless, showing you how dominant he can be when he gets hot.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Mark, you were so good at such an early age in your basketball career. At what point did you personally realize just how far the game could take you?
You know, it really resonated with me, Kevin. I think at a summer basketball camp at Miami of Ohio, when some of the better campers, high school campers, were asked to play with the college guys at night. And then during pickup games in my hometown of Cleveland with some of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jim Jones and the late Terry Furlow and Mike Mitchell, and being able to compete somewhat with those guys at 15 and 16 years of age, and having them encourage me to keep going, and that I'd have a chance to do what they were doing at the time, which was play pro ball.
Here's Siakam, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Clint Capella.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got in good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
Marcus Smart's checked in for Andre Iguodala.
You know, early in his career, there were questions surrounding D'Angelo Russell's maturity, and understandably so. That's the case with most young players. But of late, in his case, his improvement as a player and his growth as a person is impressive.
No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Oh, good with the triple.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Guys, this has been an incredible performance this quarter. I mean, he's getting the ball where he likes it and wants it and just going to work.
And beginning his career with the Lakers, coaches wanted Russell to take a more serious approach.
Yeah, you know what? I think his last year there, losing the trust of his teammates, probably woke him up a bit. Sometimes you got to go through the adversity to recognize what you need to change. It's not enough to just put up numbers. You got to be a professional in how you go about your business, and plenty to like about where D'Angelo Russell is and where he's headed.
No good on that one. Good work defensively by Capella.
Yeah, I tell you what, for him, this has been a game to forget, but somehow they still find themselves with the lead.
Pass to Siakam. And Siakam throws it down.
And it's good to see George concentrate on getting the ball to the open man. Excellent floor awareness.
Brown finds Capella. And here is Doncic. Outside to Rosen. Baseline try. Here's Capella. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Wizards. On Friday, they'll tip off a road trip in Boston, where they'll take on the Celtics. And then on Sunday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Marjanovic checked in for Washington. Eric Bledsoe comes in for D'Angelo Russell. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Julius Randle's checked in for Andre Drummond. Robert Covington comes in for Luka Doncic. Checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And Paul subbed in for Jaylen Brown. Bucks trail by 4. 1:11 left to play here in the half. Ball against Bledsoe. It's Covington on the wing. Another shot, Capella, and the layup is good. Capella's got 5 points in the quarter.
Oh, I tell you what, Clint Capella does a really good job of playing with such energy and effort, particularly on the glass, and because of that, he can hurt you on the boards.
Whistle blows, bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
Wizards making a switch here. Tatum's checked in, and Milwaukee with a change here too. Cauley Stein's checked in. Ball outside, the pass to Randle. Over Bledsoe. Randle no good.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Siakam with it. From deep three-point range, Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Washington. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just a... And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Paul George taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 17 points, 2 and that'll...
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. You look at Paul George.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
Paul George is out there with Russell. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Rudy Gobert, and it's Iguodala in at the small forward position. That's the room for Scott Brooks getting going here in the second half. Russell kicks to George. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Clint Capella.
Well, you really have to like how George uses his body effectively down low there. I mean, the defense pretty much has no choice but to foul him in that situation.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Passes it to Doncic. Off target with his three.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked soon. I mean, that's how bad his shot selection has been.
He gets that one. Russell's got the lead up to 7 now for Washington.
Well, I tell you, Russell looking very comfortable taking on aggressive defense and getting the job done. That's good focus on his part.
Drummond is double. Capella finds DeRozan. Traps in the tray. DeRozan's got 13.
Sensational ball movement there. When you pass the ball like that, good things happen.
Russell passes to Gobert. Outside, George. Now here's Gobert. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game.
A high motor keeps Drummond engaged defensively. He doesn't want to let any shots go in.
DeRozan against Iguodala. Paul George with the steal. Here's Cousins, and Cousins throws it down.
And Cousins, also a good ball handler, just taking it strong there to the hole.
And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Milwaukee. They trail by 6. Washington with the rebound. Iguodala deciding where to go with it. That's to Gobert. DeRozan against Russell. Shot clock at 5. From deep, George. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Capella's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. It's Iguodala with the drive. Good work defensively by Capella. Bucks trail by 6. Over in the corner, Doncic. Here's Drummond. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Selected 9th overall in the 2012 draft, Drummond's carved out a nice NBA career for himself.
And both free throws good for Drummond. Washington leading now by 4. Washington calls timeout.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, typically there's some type of adjustment made out of a timeout. It might be major or it could be just a slight tweak.
And let's see some of the numbers here for Paul George. He's coming off an excellent season. He was around 28 points per clip last year, 8 rebounds, and just over 2 steals. It's hard to wrap your head around numbers like these, but that is just what he delivers night in and night out.
You know, it's so easy for us to take him for granted, to get spoiled with what he does. I think we've got to be more appreciative of the kind of impact this man has in every game he plays.
Pass to Drummond. Lob pass to Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
The 6'10" Capella showing you some bounce on that alley-oop.
The Wizards have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Russell finds Gobert. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. A nice shot by George.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Here's DeRozan. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
And, Greg, it's clearly been their edge, and in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
Russell against DeRozan. Russell dishes to Iguodala. Shot clock at 6. And Capella sends it back. Here's Doncic. Rebound by the Wizards.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
Bucket is good.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And, Greg, nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
DeRozan passes to Capella. Brown outside. Milwaukee the rebound. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
And, Capella is so strong that you really got to wrap him up if you're going to commit the foul on him.
Wizards leading by 3. Here's Graham. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Russell. True on the 14-footer.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
Brown finds Doncic. With the floater, he takes it up and lays it in. Doncic has got 8 points.
Boy, such a soft release on this difficult shot. Doncic is a master at knowing how and when to use that shot.
And there's the pass to George. That one a little long.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Here's Brown. Rebound, Washington. George has got 4 rebounds now tonight. They get a hand on it, and stolen by Drummond. Now, here's Doncic. D right on him. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Boy, this is why me and so many others are high on Doncic. I mean, he's got the ability to fight through challenges that defenses present.
Jason Tatum, he's checked in for the Wizards. And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Washington Wizards.
Well, you look at Luka Doncic, and the one skepticism scouts had was his athleticism or lack thereof. And I think he's proven that's not necessary to be a great basketball player. And he's only getting better as he works with NBA trainers.
Washington calls timeout. And, you heard about Doncic. Even if he's a step slow, he's always 2 steps ahead with his mental game.
Kevin, that's a great point. Feel, savvy, experience, know-how. He grew up playing against bigger, stronger guys, and that always serves you well as you go forward. So he understands how to create space and anticipate and feel how to get defenders off balance. I mean, he's just a special young player.
Now Capella, he's got 16. Pass to Doncic. Just 5 to shoot. Over Tatum. Drummond. And Drummond is right there. Drummond's got it all tied up now for the Bucks.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear. It's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
And I wouldn't put it past him, guys, to eventually start hitting those, given what he did in the first half.
No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a three-point play. That's on D'Angelo Russell. For the Wizards, Siakam is checked in for Cousins. Marcus Smart comes in for D'Angelo Russell. And it's Eric Bledsoe in for Paul George. The Bucks also changing it up. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Clint Capella. Robert Covington comes in for Doncic. And Paul subbed in for Jaylen Brown. Pass to Smart. Shoots over DeRozan. Smart misses. Bucks leading by 3. And here's Covington. Kicks it to DeRozan. Knocked away. Stolen by Smart. Bledsoe finds Siakam. Count it. Siakam's got 9.
Decent at spotting his teammates. You know, Bledsoe is good, I think, at reading the defense and then recognizing when he's got an open teammate.
Up top to Rosen, guarded by Smart. Now the fast break. Tatum with the ball. Good, and Smart gets the assist. 9 points for Jason Tatum. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Wizards.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
DeRozan surveying the D. Here's Drummond. Rebounded by Smart.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested. Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
Pass to DeRozan. Over Smart. And again, the Bucks miss.
Defense made an impact right there. Definitely got him uncomfortable going up with it.
And the rejection by Cauley-Stein. To the inside. Paul. And Tatum pulls it down. Wizards leading by 3. Siakam kicks to Bledsoe. Back to Siakam. Outside Tatum. Puts it up. Solid as a rock from 20 feet away. He's got 11.
Boy, he's been a rock of offensive support so far, and when they've needed a basket, they've turned to him.
Drummond finds Paul. Smart against DeRozan. They could use a bucket. Count it. An 11 chance for a 3-point play. It's going to be on Siakam.
You know, so far he's been dominant this period, making the most of his opportunities.
And the Wizards making a change here. Marjanovic is checked in. Julius Randle's checked in for Milwaukee. And growing up about 15 miles south of the Staples Center, DeMar DeRozan idolized Kobe Bryant Clark and patterned his game after him.
And you can see evidence of Kobe's game in DeMarcus's game. You think about the footwork, the ability to post up, the moves and counter moves, the balance and strength. I think he owes a lot of that to the Mamba.
And the rejection by Cauley-Stein. Outside DeRozan. On the pass to Paul. For the tie. The rebound by Marjanovic. Marjanovic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And Siakam throws it down.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
Wizards leading by 4. Dishes it to Bledsoe. Passes it to Smart. Wizards passing it around. Bledsoe outside. Hits it from 3-point range. Bledsoe's got the lead up to 7 now for the Wizards.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Oh, and a fast break for the Wizards. And DeRozan sends it back.
Anytime DeRozan can come up for the block, gets the whole team energized.
Cauley-Stein dishes to Covington. Feeds it to Randall. And he comes up with the deuce. Randall's got 8 points.
And that's why you don't let him get positioned deep in the post.
Exactly. I mean, once he's already lost.
Marjanovic.
And that stifling defense of Cauley-Stein is what got him drafted 6th back in 2015.
And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. And Milwaukee, looking at who they've got. Barrett is out there with Paul. Then it's Robert Covington. Then it's Julius Randle. And it's DeRozan in at the 3.
Boy, really like the rhythm and pace that DeRozan plays with. I mean, on these catch and shoots, really showing you nice poise and pace.
Iguodala kicks to George. Got a piece of it. That one finds the mark. It's the 10th time he's done that tonight on 14 shots.
Yeah, nice vision that time displayed by George off the screen and roll.
Back to Paul. At the elbow, Randall. Outside DeRozan. Tries a 3. Milwaukee the rebound.
And that's a good job of just getting after it on the backboard. Gets them another possession and allows them to run even more clock.
And, you know, this is where Paul likes to work his magic. Very effective at making the right pass in the pick and roll.
About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Gobert with it. Pass to Siakam. And here's Iguodala outside. A shot missing. Now the Bucks take it the other way. Here's DeRozan. That doesn't go either for DeRozan. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Washington. 3-point lead. Paul with the steal. He feeds it to Barrett. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
And have to admire how hard Barrett goes. This kind of assertiveness is what makes defenders feel uneasy.
Washington making some changes. Cousins comes in for Pascal Siakam. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Jason Tatum. The Bucks also changing it up. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Robert Covington. Luka Doncic comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Brown in for Chris Paul. And here's George for 3. Offensive rebound. Gobert can't hit. Bucks have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. To take the lead, no good. George with the defensive effort. For Washington, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. And Cousins puts it down.
Boy, the unselfishness of Iguodala is really admirable. A forward with excellent vision, has a feel for when one of his guys is open.
Gobert against Capella. Doncic trying to get open. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Wow, they made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
Drummond's checked in for Milwaukee. DeRozan comes in for Barrett. That one good for 2. And that's now 11 points here for Cousins.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Pass to Doncic. Rolls from the top of the key. Rebound, Washington. Cousins has got his 5th rebound in this one. Iguodala, wide open. Good. It's Cousins picking up the assist. Cousins has got 6 assists here tonight. Now kicks to Doncic. True on the 14-footer.
Well, you know what? It's really rare to see young players like Doncic have such offensive creativity in their game. Deadly from the mid-range.
Gobert with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Here's the pass to George. Gobert against Drummond. 5 on the clock. Gobert the pass to Cousins. The deep three from George. Rebound, Milwaukee.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Well, that looked to me, guys, like a heat check and was maybe a step out of his range.
Washington leading now by 5. Russell left side. A floater, and the layup is up and in.
You know, this has been a totally different half for him. He definitely looks more comfortable now, guys.
Doncic kicks to DeRozan. Lets the 3 fly. The Bucks getting another chance here.
And he's really trying to get them back into it, but the results just have not been there.
Russell passes to Cousins. It's rebounded by Doncic. Bucks trail by 7. Passes to DeRozan. And finished off by DeRozan.
DeRozan is a man on a mission tonight. I don't know if I've ever seen DeMar any sharper than this.
Russell against DeRozan. Russell kicks to George. Floats one up, and that's 2 points on the layup. George has got 10 points here in the second half.
Amazing athleticism from George. I mean, sprinting towards the bucket and getting there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And there it is for him. And now it's up to 25 points for DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just getting the job done when they need to. Make every possession count.
And Gobert kicks to Russell. Back to Gobert. Shoots the 3. Milwaukee with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 13 with that last one.
Well, I don't think he's performing up to his own expectations, but they still find themselves out in front.
The 19-foot shot. Offensive rebound, Bucks.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today.
Count that one.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
Doncic passes to Brown. Back to Doncic. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
Handles the ball extremely well. He's terrific at creating for himself off the dribble.
16 feet away. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 15 rebounds here tonight. Here's Brown. Keeps it alive, and it's put back up and in by Capella. Capella's got 19 points.
Yeah, on fire tonight. I mean, Capella's scoring numbers can come from a lot of directions. Lots of dunks, lay-ins, and putbacks. They can add up quickly.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
Doncic against Iguodala. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. They get Andre Iguodala.
Well, I tell you what, Doncic plays with really good energy and awareness, but also he's got a quiet physicality to him, and he doesn't mind being bumped around when he's trying to score.
Here's Iguodala, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Wizards will retain possession. Washington with the ball. 4-point game. Back to Russell. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Milwaukee Bucks. Pass to DeRozan. The kick out to Brown. Lets it go from deep. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. DeRozan's got 5 assists tonight. Right side, George. Quick shot there, and it's off target.
Tell you what, that is a missed opportunity from mid-range for sure. With as little defense as was shown, should have made that.
Cousins with it, and guarded by Capella. Cousins, the pass to George. He dishes it to Russell. To the middle, Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
Yeah, and Cousins never shy when his team needs a game-changing basket.
On the wing, DeRozan. He's guarded by Russell, and the dunk by Capella.
So good to see the role players stepping up in big moments. That's a big basket for Clint Capella.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. Of our Jordan player of the game, Paul George.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
I was able to listen in on what Scott Brooks had to say to his team. With this game in the balance, he really came after his guys. He said, this is our time. Right now, be in the moment with each other. Do your job, and I promise you we'll win this game. Back to you.
All right, David, thanks. Iguodala against Doncic, and it's sent back by Drummond. Doncic dishes to Brown. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
And George just has an uncanny knack for providing these kinds of baskets. And he makes it look so easy.
Pass to Drummond. Brown inside, defended by George. Doncic against Iguodala. 17-foot shot on the way. That one's good, and the Washington lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Doncic. Brown against George. Shoots over Brown. A nice shot by George.
Strength, a phenomenal mid-range score.
DeRozan against Russell. It's Brown on the wing. Doncic right side. Oh, wow, a huge basket to tie the game. Doncic has got 22 points. 1:07 left to play here in the fourth. Now, here is George. Shoots over Brown. It's in!
Well, Paul George has been sensational.
Milwaukee's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Timeout called the Bucks. They're behind by 2. 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And so it's Milwaukee now. On the wing, Brown. Defended by George. Brown outside. 11 feet away, and that one goes long.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
And they'll keep possession. Here's Russell. hits it despite the head. Great, strong finish, and he'll go to the line for one more. That's on Jaylen Brown.
Now they're going for the jugular. A few more trips like that, and you might be able to see this one in the books.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They trail by 5. We've got 28 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Doncic passes to Drummond. Back to Doncic. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Drummond finds Brown. There's 14 seconds left to play in the final quarter.
And the vertical that Brown has is quite impressive. As relentless a finisher that you'll find in this league.
It's the first that shrinks the margin to just 4. And Brown drops them both.
And that would have been a killer if he missed one of those, but he was rock solid. That trims the lead now to a one-possession game.
And so they foul intentionally.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure. It's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it. Good composure from the line there. Those shots sealed it.
From deep. He can't hit that time. Here's George. And so it's the Wizards with the W. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us.